Okay, in this video we've got a Mountfield Rotavator or tiller. Essentially what's wrong with it is it needs a good service. It's a mate of mine's. He obtained it about 3 or 4 years ago. It might have even been longer than that. Essentially someone had just thrown it out. He received it. It was still working when they threw it out. 3 to 5 years on, this is the condition it's in. It's still working, but again, it could do with a good service because, in the time he's had it, I think the only thing it's had is quite possibly a new carb, but that's about it. So we'll tear it down, we'll give it a good clean down, give it a service, and see how it looks. Okay, as you can see, I'm just giving the exhaust a good clean down. This is more just for aesthetic sort of appeal, really. The exhaust could do with replacing, but I mean it works. It's got a couple of holes in it, so it's a lot louder than it should be. But at the end of the day, I mean it's an agricultural machine, it's an outdoor machine. It doesn't matter if it's too loud. Okay, now we're on to the carb, and like I said, this is probably the newest thing on it. And it's still a bit gunky, but like I say, it's a well-used rotavator and it gets used every year, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised it's got a little bit of build-up, but we'll have a look at that. Okay, yeah, we've got a bit of build-up in here, not a great deal, but we'll still give it a good clean down. Just using a bit of petrol to get the majority of the gunk off. And although it builds up, it also makes a good cleaner, but I've got some carb cleaner, so we'll use that once we've got the majority of the bits out. And yeah, as you can see, a fair amount of build up. And fresh lot of petrol. Another quick clean over. Just get the last little bits out. And a quick spray over with the carb cleaner as well. And then we'll get that reassembled, and then that's that done. And now it's clean, what we'll do is we'll just get it reassembled. This is a front plate that goes onto the main sort of housing chassis, whatever you like to call it, the body. This is just a plate that goes on the front. Out of all of it, you can see from it is a green rotavator, or at least for the most part it's green. This is the only part of metal on it that's actually got the greatest amount of rust and that looks as bad as it does, so I'm just going to give that a clean down. I'm just going to respray it black. And I'm just getting a few more little bits that are just going to get the spray treatment, just because they're either too rusty or they're looking too scabby. It's just to make it look a little bit prettier, sorry. This is a big, long bit of the metal that just sort of bit of metal that drags on the back of the rotavator. I don't think it's a stand, but that's what I use it for. Gonna give that a good clean down and then respray as well. And we're also going to resharpen the blades as well, just to make sure that they sort of cut through the soil a little bit easier. With these ones, they don't have to be sharp. You know, they're not supposed to be like lawnmower blades, but close enough. I mean, sharp enough to do the job, because at the moment they're just battered and blunt. And now we're onto the throttle cable. Again, I've given that a spray as well, just to sort of make it look nice. But yeah, I'll feed that back round and get that all neatened up and just make sure it opens and closes. And as you can see, I've also given the handle respray down. They're made of a plastic and they were like a pinky colour, so that's been given a fresh lick of paint again, just to make it look nice. Okay, now before it was using, we're onto the clutch cable now. Before it was using a bit of chicken wire, which, I mean, it served its purpose, it worked, it did its job, and, you know, it was cheap. However, like I said, you know, this thing's getting a birthday, so it's actually getting the proper cable installed. And yeah, as you can see, also it's had a jolly good clean up just to make it look a little bit prettier. I've give it a fresh lick of paint on the handles as well. It's got new grips because, well, one of the grips was non-existent and the other one was just sort of shredded. And now the clutch cable's fitted. We'll give it a quick test. I mean, it certainly looks a little bit nicer. Gonna have to wrap it round, cable tie it back up, and then yep, that's that side done. Obviously, if you can see the blades, I gave them a clean down and a respray. Obviously sharpened them as well. I do realise that the first bit of action, couple of usage, when it hits a couple of stones, it's going to knock the paint off. You know, I'm not expecting it to last, but it looks neater, it looks nicer, the blades are sharper. Okay, yeah, after testing, it fires up perfectly fine, so that's all good. Get this back to its rightful owner and he can give it a proper test and let me know how it is. But that's enough for today. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe for more.